Thank you guys for joining me for another time of our Christmas daily devotions, when I can start off by sharing God's word with you today and kind of get you into the Christmas season as well as we reflect on the true reason for the season, who is Jesus. Today's devotion is titled, While Shepherds Watch Their Flocks by Night. While shepherds watch their flocks by night. Let's read from Isaiah 40:11, then we'll get into today's devotion. Here's what it says. He tends his flock like a shepherd. He gathers the lambs in his arms and carries them close to his heart. I encourage you to stop and read Luke 2:8-18. Take a moment and really think about it. Jesus had just been born, but the only people who knew were his parents and the farm animals. The king had come and no one had been ready to receive him. It certainly seems he should have had some sort of welcoming party or something, especially for a king of his caliber. God must have thought so too, for he announced the birth of his son to shepherds who were watching nearby. God's word tells us that the shepherds were terrified by the appearance of the angel that appeared of Bethlehem and were amazed by the tales they later told. You can easily imagine why. Of all the things people expected that morning, shepherds singing praises and announcing the coming of the Messiah was probably not too high on that list. So why did God choose the shepherds? Of all the people the angel could have appeared to that night, why them? First, it may simply have been the fact that they were awake. They were watching. They never dreamed what they would see, but they had kept their eyes open. More so, they were watching nearby. It's easy to imagine that a celebration unseen by human eyes was happening all around them. Angels celebrating the birth of Christ. For just a moment, God must have longed to see humans celebrate as well. So the angels popped into the shepherds' perception and invited them to join the praise. What response could the shepherds have other than "let's go see this thing"? After seeing him, they had no choice but to share him. They spread the word as they went. It's enough to make you wonder what happened to the sheep. Guys, this is such a powerful devotion today because it's more than just about Christmas. It's about our lives as Christians and how we ought to be watchful while we receive Christ into our hearts. You see, these shepherds were watching their flocks by night. These angels invited them to come see the birth of this prophesied king that would come, who is Jesus Christ. And they probably heard the angels rejoicing and all this stuff happening, and they were watching their flocks, but they were watching nearby because it was an event close by. And what I see in this devotion is that, us as believers, us as Christians, number one, we have to keep watch. We have to see what's going on in our world today. We have to see the signs of the times, right? We have to take notice of these things because that's important, right? His word teaches that he's going to come in an hour when we least expect it. He's going to come like a thief in the night when he comes for his second coming. This time he's not coming in that humble way. He's coming with power. He's coming in his power and in his glory for a church in its power and in its glory, right? He's coming down, and his eyes are going to be like flames because he's coming with judgment this time for those who have rejected him and who have hardened their heart against him and against his chosen people. So we have to be watchful as believers. In this Christmas season, be watchful. Do you see the things that are happening all around us that have been prophesied for hundreds and hundreds of years finally coming to pass, right? But as you're watchful, you cannot neglect the work of his kingdom. Because while we are still alive, while we are still on this earth, we have to take care of the sheep. The shepherds were watchful, right? But I'm pretty sure they didn't just abandon the sheep. What they might have done is make some type of exceptions for the sheep to be taken care of. So in the same way, we have to keep doing his work, take care of his sheep, and be watchful, because we don't want to be caught like those 10 virgins, some foolish and some wise. The wise ones had enough oil and they were waiting, they were expecting, they were watchful. But the foolish ones, they ran out of oil and then they had to go back and get some more. But by the time they left and came back, it was too late. So this Christmas season, even though Christmas is celebrating the first coming of Christ to earth, what I want you to do is be watchful of the second coming. Because he's going to come in an hour when we do not expect it. It's going to be in the twinkling of an eye, and the church will be raptured up to meet him in the clouds. So guys, today, do not forget the second coming of Christ. Do not be like those foolish believers that are not watchful at his coming. Christianity is not just a religion. It's not just something you do because you've sinned and you need forgiveness. No. It's something that you have to have Christ in your heart and have a relationship with him. It's more than religion. It's relationship. And we have to be watchful, but continue to do the work of his kingdom. Have an awesome day tonight, guys. God bless you. Take care.